Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our club. Hello and welcome to the...
Join our what?
Club. He's done club again.
Did I do... I'm too busy looking at how good I look on this new HD webcam. If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. No, I don't know why they're laughing either. Nothing went wrong there, because our crack editor cut that bit out. Hello and welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, joined by myself in his new bedroom. It's the old bedroom, but let's pretend it's a new location for me. It is a lovely fancy webcam. So the negative thing about getting a brand spanking new webcam is the fact that I look good before in 480p, and I'm in HD and it's, you know, warts and all. But looking beautiful as ever, Jack the Jobber.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. And Ross.
Hello, Maffew and Jack.
You alright?
God, I'm tickety-boo. Top of the world here. Fantastic.
Good.
That's the spirit. Well, let's ruin that good mood by looking at the news. Wrestling Observer News that I believe Styles versus Taker Part 2 could happen and be an actual wrestling match as opposed to the cinematic one we saw at WrestleMania.
Oh,
Well,
I didn't know
fantastic. Aye, if the network series is anything to go by, it's going to be like the first 10 minutes of Up. So, I know you've been tweeting about it. So go ahead.
I've not seen any of the Undertaker documentary yet.
Oh, it's good.
Is it?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I like the
That's
bit where
a good
Roman Reigns is checking into the hotel, or Undertaker is, and Roman Reigns comes up behind him and Taker's like, "You can't keep kayfabe for 10 minutes, you bastard." In that voice.
In that way.
He followed up with, "You've done it now." But
Yes, he did.
I read a review of it, and it's sounded very interesting because they're all talking about Undertaker coming at the end of his run and he's not got it anymore and he's in pain. And it goes, oh, this is in 2017. We haven't got to the proper bad stuff yet.
It seems very much like WrestleMania 33 was supposed to be his retirement, but he was not happy with how that match went down. So he's like, bloody hell, I've got to rectify this. And he's been trying for 3 years. Bless him.
Oh dear, oh dear. Sting's contract with WWE has expired. I don't know who signed either. And it is unknown if he will re-sign or jump to AEW. If they do, Jake Roberts and Arn Anderson are going to be fighting over who gets a turn on him first. So, when was the last thing Sting did with WWE?
He had the video game, didn't he? Then he had the stuff with Rollins, and then Hall of Fame 2016, wasn't it?
Then he retired.
I can't think of anything back since then, yeah.
Do you think they did a WCW thing with Randy Savage's brother and just like, oh yeah, Sting's on the records. Oh.
He was in that. Was he not in that advert where they're all stood about and then Becky Lynch falls through the ceiling?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yes. That was about 3 years ago, I think. So good job to sing.
It was last year, wasn't it? The 2K20, where she just shatters the glass ceiling. Hulk Hogan's there having a pint.
I like the outtake when... Have you seen the outtake with Austin when he goes, "Jesus Christ, Becky, are you okay?" And then that's just... And then he just laughs. Oh, Steve.
Also in contract news, Rachel Ellering was released by WWE back in April 15th. Not many people reported on it, according to news sites. I didn't know Ellering had been released because she blocked me ages ago because of a certain Wrestle Circus match that we won't talk about. Coincidentally, Ric Flair signed a new contract with WWE, so that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Rachel Ellering or Flair?
Just that at least there was a reason for the blocking, because I'm blocked by some funny old wrestlers that I've never talked to or met or done anything wrong to.
But have you tweeted about them?
No. People have tweeted about them with me tagged in it, and then they've blocked everyone in the...
Oh.
So Shawn Michaels has blocked me. I don't know.
Well, it's because you're a sexy boy.
Thank you, cheers.
You felt threatened. And what else we got? The IC title has been vacated.
Oh my God,
this
Sammy.
is scandalous.
Yeah, this is awful.
And we would all know this if we watched WWE backstage.
Wait.
That's
What?
where it was first reported.
I don't watch backstage.
That was the point. I'm like, not Raw, not SmackDown, not NXT. No, not good enough for the bump, but not good enough for that. All right.
It's totally not fair. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, is the reason Sammy's missing just because he didn't want to risk his health for the whole pandemic thing, or is he injured? What's the story there? Because if it's just because he's like not willing to risk his health and have gone, yoink, we'll take that away from you. After, I think that was, did they also say like, don't worry, lads and lasses, your place in the card won't be effective if you do go home?
Yeah,
did they say that?
There was reports that there was a similar approach to Tony Khan, yeah?
Yeah. If that's the case, that's a load of bollocks.
Isn't it one of the things where, yeah, it's okay, you won't be affected unless you're a title holder, because they did the same with Jordan Devlin.
Jordan Devlin, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he's still got the belt.
We can have two lots of Razor and Shawn feuds, one on NXT and one on SmackDown. The Reals champion.
How can they do this when over the past 5 years Brock Lesnar? It doesn't matter. I'm fuming.
Doesn't
for
matter,
Sammy.
Jack. You're fumming.
It's not real.
Vince McMahon did Rob Gronkowski's dive during WrestleMania rehearsals to show the NFL star it was safe.
That's what Vince does.
Apparently didn't give a hoot either. He just go out and was like, so what? How about that?
Oh, God. Who caught him, or did they have a mat? I don't know.
It was the NXT lads, wasn't it? Because Gronk was a bit iffy because it was the NXT people or something. And Vince was like, I'll show you.
What an awkward position to be in there. It's like, there's the boss, and you're there thinking, well, you know, he didn't give me that push in 2017, but I do kind of need a job right now. All right. The struggles of Zelina Vega's crew are, according to PWI, going to lead to someone being removed from the group, likely Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Sad. It was only ever
I'm on board with it, me. I think he'd be a lot better off on his own. There was that match he had on... Yeah, that match on Raw he had a few weeks ago. I forget who it was against, but it was a long one. Who was it against? I can't remember. Someone in the comments let us know.
Drew.
Was it Drew? Yeah. I was like... He can hold his own as a singles man. I think he's a bit of a spare part with Zelina and the other Venga boys.
Yeah.
Spare part Austin Theory. And this week in Vince, the shorter Money in the Bank runtime is a Vince McMahon mandate. Since there were no fans in the arena to give their money's worth, there's no need to do a full 3 to 4 hours if it could be done quicker. Well done, Vince. First good thing you've done in ages. Thank you.
There's been a couple of weird Vince things this week, though.
Oh, we'll get to them later on. I think it'll be better with the Raw thing. But now we should talk about Money in the Bank. But I'd almost forgotten about, to be honest with you, apart from the main event. Jeff Hardy defeated Cesaro in Jeff Hardy's kind of return match. He's not been around away for that long, but we pretended it's a big return. And this was way better than I thought it was going to be. Cesaro was quite funny here, trying to rub off Jeff Hardy's makeup. And they threw him into the ring and then went, aha, I'm going to go up the stairs like a gentleman. Oh, that was good stuff. The New Day defeated the Forgotten Sons, The Miz and John Morrison, and the Lucha House Party to retain the titles in a 4-way for the SmackDown ones. It was alright. There was some spots. Yay. Forgotten Sons didn't win.
Match.
Boo. Yeah. Lucha House Party didn't win.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I thought it was a nice start of the show.
Then
why did Jackson Ryder get thrown out? He didn't break any rules, did he? Do we care, Jackson Ryder?
The referee didn't know he was a wrestler. Oi!
No, I was watching it with because obviously I live with Owen, and when we were watching it, he turned to me and said, "Why does he?" Because Owen's proper indie, he calls him Gunner, and he went, "Why does?" Is that Jackson Ryder? Is he Gunner from TNA? Have I got the right one there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he went, "Why does Gunner not do anything?" And I was like, "Oh well, he's their manager, basically. He's the one on the outside." And Owen was like, "But he's the biggest one." That's offensive to him. What have I done there? Never mind.
He said what, Jack?
What's he doing there on the outside of the ring? No, it's not. It's not what he said.
That's right. He actually said ring.
Oh, yeah. Someone's
Anyway.
Chinese.
Offensive impressions aside, R-Truth took on MVP. No, he didn't. Bobby Lashley showed up. and took his place and then annihilated R-Truth. It all makes sense in a few hours. Then Bayley, I'm sorry, Ross, are you sat down? You are.
I am sat down, yeah.
Bayley retained the title against Tamina.
It looked like it was going to happen, Maffew. It looked like it was going to happen. But then Sasha Banks, who was dressed like Britney Spears, oops, I did it again, I was an arsehole, etc., etc. She got involved, didn't she? Which means we need to get to a steel cage match between Bayley and Sasha Banks, Bayley and Tamina, where nobody can get involved. That's where we need to go to from here. Hopefully this whole feud and the whole Tamina push just isn't swept to one side, which I'm fearing it might be by the time we get to SmackDown later on. Devastated. But at least they had those promos she's been doing. More people were on board with Tamina, I was finding, during the night. After the show, that promo during the kickoff show. So good on them for finally doing it.
They did listen to your request, though. It's good. So to the WWE fans who are watching this in their business, happy to see you too. Hopefully the check's in the post there for you, Ross. Braun Strowman defeated Bray Wyatt with the assistance of the puppets.
Well,
which just remind me that we did used to have
with puppets.
Which just remind me, I hope our puppets are right.
Yeah.
Do you take him home with you?
No, I think if he's been in me covered all this time, he's gonna be gutted. But yeah, this was an interesting match because it wasn't necessarily good. It was a setup match for, The Fiend versus Braun. But I kind of liked it because they were puppets.
And
a very simple individual.
The acting at the end was fantastic as well.
That's also a good thing, yeah, Ross. He used his Bray Wyatt's old mind thing against him to trick him. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Fighting champion Braun.
And when Bray Wyatt was making his entrance, he was saying, "You do a good job, Michael Cole, no matter what anyone says," which I quite enjoyed.
Ooh. Such a passive-aggressive thing to say, isn't it? Like, I don't care what they say about you, Jack. You're all right by my...
It's a compasult.
Yes, it is. That's nice, though. Drew McIntyre defeated Seth Rollins in the Seth Rollins match of the night.
Right. Right. Okay, so I thought it was a good match because they're both really good. But what was with... Why did Seth shake his hand at the end and then not turn face?
I think it was something to do with what we found out on Raw.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got no idea, to be honest with you.
He was in a good mood.
I was really worried because I was like, oh no, they're definitely going to turn him face again. And I don't want that because obviously Seth's a million times better as a heel. Brian Alvarez was saying on Wrestling Observer Radio or whatever, on his review show of Money in the Bank, that this is the worst gimmick of Rollins' entire career, the Monday Night Messiah.
Bollocks.
I know where he's got this from. It's really good. I don't know why. I don't know where Alvarez has got that from, but he was getting really riled up. You'll be surprised to hear, actually. He was getting really riled up.
I know where he got it from. Tony Khan's checkbook.
Oh, no. No.
You would have liked if he was on AEW.
Allegedly. Sorry, I forgot the last bit. But what do you think of his new theme?
It fits the character better, yeah, but it just sounds like any other generic WWE theme. Bayley's theme has the same sort of start. It's a big issue with me, the music these days. Bring back Big Jim. Teach these new lads how to fit a theme to a character better. That's what I would say. It still fits his gimmick better, though, I guess.
Yeah. I think because we made Christian's old one. Like, Rollins, at last you're on... Whatever. And instead of riffs, it's just him talking, so it's... And then we had the two consecutive... No, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Simultaneous Money in the Bank matches with all the women and then all the men doing the thing. I'm not going to recite bloody everything that's happening here. This was an interesting match, to say the least, because we knew it was going to be a daft, silly cinematic match, which is fair enough. But after WWE does action movie with the Boneyard match, and WWE does Art House with the Firefly Funhouse, also followed by WWE does Wank with Ciampa versus Gargano. This was just WWE does big dumb comedy, and that's not necessarily my thing. I'm not a big Kevin James fan, so it was kind of interesting to watch, but then afterwards I'm like, all right, I'm never rewatching that again. I'm never thinking about it again. But a lot of people seem to like some of the little jokes. So rather than me rant about it, what did you think about it, Ross?
I was thoroughly sports entertained throughout. I like the fact that a lot of off-the-wall stuff that you didn't see coming. That doink thing I don't understand still, as we're sat here 4 days later. Seeing Brother Love, the Brother Love poop to the Brother Love pop, that was good. Just about, he was out the toilet. I enjoyed it, me. I like wacky wrestling. I get how people might not like it when they don't, like more serious sporting aspects of the business. And how could that fat, stupid man win the prestigious Money in the Bank briefcase? I'll never know, and stuff like that. But each to their own. I was entertained. I liked it.
And Jack,
I was really torn because part of half my brain was thinking, well, that could have been worse than it was, and then the other half of my brain was thinking that could have been better than it was. It felt like some things missed the mark, especially as you've mentioned, the Doink thing, which was really weird. He didn't even look like Doink at all. But
shit.
Yeah, it was so weird. I can't remember who tweeted it, but someone was like, "So good to see Doink's trademark business shirt," and Brother Love's trademark fake tan. But apart from that, I thought it was all right. The whole Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black being murdered in cold blood was very weird. And then
Michael Cole seemingly
Michael
Cole was so nonchalant at the end. He didn't even cover it in his review of the night. And then we obviously found out about the secondary roof. So Michael Cole must have known about this secondary roof, and he didn't mention it. Zelina must have been going wild at home.
Yeah, I thought the joke was going to be that they'd landed in it. I thought, you hear like the splat noise, which was them landing on the crash mat. I thought that was a splash, so I thought there was a pool, and I thought the joke was going to be that they'd both come back like dripping wet. But I thought the noise came too soon after they disappeared over the edge for them to be telling us that they died.
WHQ is a bungalow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was easily the best thing about it, and it was unintentional. Because the rest of the stuff's very broad, like, oh, we went to Vince McMahon's office with his dinosaur skull and all this. And it's like, oh, sorry, Vince, you're clearly working on something.
Yeah.
It's Sunday at past midnight.
Well,
and you're writing it down on a pad.
Apparently
that's how he does it, though, isn't it? Everything's on that yellow legal pad. Always sanitising his hands or lubing up, no matter what it was.
And the amazing Stephanie McMahon cameo. I was like, hey, looks there. There's Stephanie. That's not the right thing. You're like, are you supposed to be there? Are you a hologram? What are you?
I tweeted that it was like a backstage bit of dialogue from like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain or something.
Yes, it's exactly what it was.
It was so like, no, silly Dana, that's not the right briefcase.
I felt sorry for Dana Brooke, me. Why was she so stupid all of a sudden? I know she's not now, but why was she that stupid? Going for the wrong briefcase and being shocked when it wasn't the right one, slipping on her arse when everyone else ran through with no issue whatsoever.
The slip, I forgot about the slip. The slip was so good.
If they could have put over sound effects, they probably would have. That's the wrong briefcase. Oh no. But yeah, it didn't work for me. It wasn't like the majority of it just didn't work as a thing, as a silly mess of buggerness. It was interesting, but I'll still take that over Ciampa Gargano. So I'll give him more credit and hope we get more wacky stuff. Just good wacky stuff in the future.
There was
and
also...
we've got to say in the news, you're right, yeah, Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black are dead.
Yeah.
Probably should have opened with that, to be honest.
There was also a moral to the story, which is patience is a virtue. Because Corbin, for some reason, had the match won. He just needed to wait for Asuka. He just needed to wait his turn. But because he was impatient about it, she kicked him down. And he deserved it. Just some thoughts there. It taught everyone manners watching.
That's right. The tortoise won the race after all, or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, though, what a great thing. Otis won.
Finish was quite cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm worried, me. I'm worried.
Or we'll save this. No, the big question. The big question.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what the big question is.
It's how should Otis cash in, but we can talk about how you might think he'll cash in as well. Oh, we'll have a great time.
I was going to say, if you look down, you can see it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, well, that was the... if you... Oh, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That was
That was nice. Yeah, no news, nothing happened. Let's have a look at the next bit.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame.
And now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. And in condescending order from last week, Herb Abrams, 17%. You bunch of bastards. What? The guy who named his dog Koki didn't do anything for you. All right, fine. The ice that Chris Jericho threw at Matt Hardy, 41%. All right.
Good effort.
And, okay, Karrion Kross and Scarlett's NXT entrance, 43%. Well done, Ross. A very decisive win there. So, if Hall of Fame works, you may go first.
I'm going to go quite simply for Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins this week because it was a lovely, wholesome week for the pair of them. What a great time. They made a baby and put it inside of Becky Lynch's stomach. And then she came out and said, I've got a baby inside of us. And, what a moment it was. We'll speak about it a bit more in depth later on. But, why not pile on the good news for Becky and Seth this week, even if Seth doesn't like he's enjoying himself on TV at the minute. Becky and Seth Rollins.
Oh, no.
Short and sweet there. Why you say no, no?
My pick
Short and sweet, just like Seth Rollins himself. What's yours, Jack?
Because my pick is so crap compared to that. Yours is like relevant and a nice message. Mine is the great US state of Wyoming. Right. So look at Maffew's face. Look at Maffew's face, man. What's that?
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Please carry on with your amazing Hall of Fame entry.
Mine is the wonderful United States of America state known as Wyoming. Because we've all fallen down a Wikipedia hole before, and in these lockdown times, it's even more easy to do that. So the other night, I found myself just learning about Wyoming. It's the least populated US state. There doesn't really seem to be much there, apart from a bit of, national parks here and there. But in terms of, culture and civilization, it all seems very... there's no professional sports teams. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of music. Not a lot of notable people come from Wyoming. So I want to just nominate this as a way of raising awareness. And I want any American listeners out there to explain to us what's the deal with Wyoming, what's going on there. Because it's a mystery to me. So mine's the state of Wyoming. And that's that.
I love Jack. He's our resident Norm MacDonald, where you can't tell what bit's the joke or what bit's the punchline or if it's all just one line thing.
None of that was a joke.
I know, that's why it's great. Some people message and say, can we get Tom on this so Maffew and Jack can stop arguing? But I'm like, I'm sorry that whenever Jack starts doing these stories, I know it's going to be hilarious. But no one else laughs, so I just look like a dick.
Thing is, if Tom was hosting the podcast, right? If he was filling in for you this week, he'd make me feel really unique and special for choosing Wyoming. He'd be like, what great shout. I've never thought about Wyoming
that's such
before.
A great state. Oh, you little belter. I've always wanted... But you also know that if Tom did that...
You little belter. Wyoming.
If you did that, Tom would have the mayor of Wyoming DM me, thank you very much. But you do it, people it's Jack again.
No, I mean... Tom would somehow have ties to the mayor of Wyoming or the governor or whatever.
That'll probably be the headline in the newspaper, Wyoming mentioned on podcast.
Wyoming also is one of 3 states, I think, where it's entirely made up. The borders of straight lines. It's one of those rectangular ones. Oh, interesting.
How does that work?
Don't know.
Oh, no, you're dragging me in the hole now. Maybe the people from Wyoming can tell us that. There we go.
It's the least populated. The biggest city,
how many people live in it?
So, I can't quite remember, but
3?
The biggest city... 3?
It's not very populated to me.
The biggest city has about 90,000 people. To put that in context, Newcastle has about 250,000. So... Wyoming's not a very populated state at all.
I heard Simon Miller comes from there. Wyoming.
He is Wyoming.
Ooh.
Yes.
And the day is saved thanks to Ross. So,
what do you mean? It's a good.
I might go.
Sorry, yeah, I can see why people think I'm being a dick now. I'm sorry, yes.
No,
I can't wait to hear more about Wyoming and more of Ross's amazing one-liners. On that note, I'm going to abruptly change this because I don't usually do serious ones on this show too much. Me being the cynic, I would think that me doing things like this would be an attempt to be people think, wow, Matthew's really nice, and I'm not a nice person. However, a lot of people who are nice happen to watch my stuff, and I felt the need to share this DM I got from someone a while ago. A man named Tony Bridgman messaged me basically to abridge this thing. He was in a lot of pain and on a drip and several issues going with him, connected to machines, and he wanted to thank us for that little botch thing that I do, and also the podcast we do at Cultaholic. And I said, well, that sounds pretty bad. Can I ask what happened? And he gave me this incredibly long explanation about what happened. Basically, Tony had developed what was something called atrial fibrillation, admitted to one of the best heart-lung hospitals in the world. Suddenly had a massive heart failure. Woke up to having my heart restarted by, I quote, a defibrillator and some big lump of a nurse pumping my chest.
Oh.
He was then rushed to intensive care. We kept lapsing into unconsciousness. Not surprising, because both his kidneys and liver had failed too. His family were told he wasn't expected to live, but after 5 days intensive care and over 4 weeks of special care unit, he was finally discharged after nearly 8 weeks in hospital. To which I read all that after he sent me a message to say thank you for keeping me entertained. And I said, bloody hell, you're literally Michael Myers from Halloween. And I said, I'm very glad to have you on my side, as I wouldn't want you mad at me. And he said, thank you very much, mate. He's developed a very healthy gallows humour about it all. And he couldn't wait to hear the next Friday podcast. And the reason I bring up all these messages is because this was December of last year. I got a message from his wife to tell me early this week he'd passed on from this. And I'm going to be the type of person who likes to celebrate a person's life rather than feel negative about the passing. And just the fact that Tony Bridgman sold a arterial fibrillation, whatever the hell it was called, that heart and liver failure, and had his heart stop, and lived for another bloody 6 months or so. If you're not too picky with the fact. The fact that that happened deserves respect, and the fact that that happened, I'm honoured to put Tony Bridgman in this, and if any of his family or friends are listening to you, thank you very much. I know it's very little we can do here. Myself and Ross and Jack, everybody else who works at Cultaholic or does YouTube-related things, we are just trying to help people with the boredom and other negative things that go through the time. So it's nice to get a message like that. And I just wanted to put that out there because I think that's bloody amazing.
Yeah.
Like, Amanda, he is the road warrior hawk of illnesses. Look at that no-selling.
Don't vote for Wyoming now. You've done a worthwhile one. You've done a proper one.
Oh no! What if Wyoming beats him?
No, Wyoming's not going to beat Tony. It's fine.
Tony Bridgman, amazing superstar legend, second place. The state of Wyoming, first place.
No, Wyoming's not.
Look at that, like the biggest twat.
But no, that's a really good way of looking at it.
Oh, no.
That's a really good way of looking at it, though. And he sounds like a really good guy as well.
Yeah. And like the fact that they took the time out to say that and say, yeah, he finally gave up. I'm like, mate, I would have given up at the bloody first hurdle. So, yeah. All respect to Tony Bridgman and his family. Thank you very much for being a fan and listening to these podcasts. And those are the 3 picks. You know, Tony Bridgman, world's hardest man. Ross's pick of the the unhappy couple, I guess. Seth Rollins a bit, and the state of Wyoming.
Can I change mine to something good?
We have to accept the first answer, don't we, on the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast?
Oh, God.
Boy.
Life, Death, and the state of Wyoming. 3 amazing picks there for you. The Cultaholic Hall of Fame. And where can you vote for them? No, not the state of Wyoming. At Patreon. Facebook.com/Cultaholic.
Do not vote for Wyoming. Please do not vote for Wyoming.
This is This Week in the Wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
SmackDown. Oh, Christ.
Oh, God, we have to go back and look at SmackDown.
Well, that was a good match.
Yes.
remember
Sonya
that
Deville. Sonya Deville gets a roll up on Mandy. The short but intense match. Basically, Sonya Deville is the highlight of SmackDown right now, as far as I'm concerned. The Miz, John Morrison, Forgotten Sons beat New Day and Lucha House Party. Boo, hiss, boo.
That's the good match. Very good match that was. You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was, yeah. Yeah. Jeff Hardy officially returns.
Sorry.
And gives us one of his... You can like it, it's fine. Jeff Hardy officially returns, gives us one of his promos where he emphasizes the wrong word in the sentence. So he's here like, I am here in this ring tonight. It's amazing. I'd miss those so much.
He sounds like a clickbaity YouTube title with the capitalized Leah.
Yeah, but he does the wrong words, so, you know. I am gonna beat Sheamus in the ring. Lacey Evans and Tamina defeated Bayley and Sasha Banks. It's ended with Tamina pinning Bayley. Don't get used to that image. Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt go at it on the mic, proving Braun is best when he's yelling Braun and pushing over ambulances rather than emoting. And Otis is the mystery partner in the main event 6-man that they revealed an hour or so and then forgot about it. They then set up the ladder and take turns climbing it, which they do every year, which I don't quite understand, but there we go. And we still don't know who the identity of the mysterious hacker is, even though CM Punk dressed up, pretended to be it on whatever show he's on. Who am I kidding? Backstage. Yeah, he did that. Then he took the title off Sami Zayn.
I think it's going to be a group of people, not one person. That's my theory, my Austin theory.
A group of people.
Yeah.
Like the state of Wyoming.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Why?
Any other thoughts, or could we run away screaming from SmackDown?
Sonya Deville's fantastic, yeah.
Yes.
That's my abiding thoughts. The way she was like shouting, I'm really enjoying this, while just ripping off Mandy's eyelashes. Stuff like that is top stuff. What the hell have I just said there? Top stuff.
Top
yeah.
stuff. Don't know where to put my hand because my camera's on the side. Just block it. There we go. Oh no, it's knackering the... Anyway. On Monday Night Raw, which is like SmackDown but red, we started off the show with Becky vacating the women's title and Money in the Bank winner Asuka being rewarded because Becky's preggers.
Yes. Genuine emotions, man. Genuinely emotional start to Raw. Becky was really emotional. It felt really...
Real.
Yeah, because in WWE, quite a lot of things feel very manufactured, especially on Raw. But so it was it's one of the more memorable Raw openings I can remember in a long time.
You say that, Jack. Wait until she's backstage giving birth to a hand.
I genuinely thought you were going to say wait until they rock up in Wyoming, but never mind.
I had a lot of comments this week on my videos saying that they might be going to start a storyline. Like why Seth broken, basically, was down to who the father was. And I was thinking, surely they won't. A lot of people were like, they're going to do it.
Please don't. No.
But I really like the start of the Raw. You don't get enough like feel-good moments, do you, in that sort of scenario? Like relinquishing the title is always really doom and gloom and injury-ridden and stuff like that. But this was like the exact opposite. You don't get enough. And Asuka's little reaction was like, a mother? Oh. And I started crying.
Is Asuka a babyface now?
Yeah.
I'm sure enough.
She's got to be. Especially after costing King Corbin.
And as someone pointed out, so how many wrestlers has Seth Rollins put out of commission? Sting, Finn Balor, now Becky. Bret Hart was right. That's all I'm saying. Bobby Lashley then destroyed Humberto Carrillo in a no DQ match. Later on, MVP gave Lashley a motivational talk. He gave him the idea of changing managers, maybe. And he basically could have convinced him to join him by pointing out, I got Brandon Vick and Shane Thorne a win on Raw. Tozawa was on the show, so of course he lost. This time to Angel Garza. And then Garza and his crew continued beating him up. So good guy Drew came out and then gave Andrade a title shot. And then Drew beat him, which I guess wraps up that little storyline. Which
Drew has just been kicking all of their asses for about a month now. None of them can do anything to him. He's just been absolutely destroying them.
Yeah. But it's all right, though, because with that out of the way, they can concentrate on having newer, fresher guys go up and have the title shot. So next week, it's King Corbin versus Drew.
What is this about? I can't believe they're doing this.
The brand-to-brand invitation.
Yeah, which is like a sort of smaller version of the wildcard rule, which nobody liked. I don't know if any of you liked it. I know the general consensus in my comments were always like, it's a terrible thing. But then why would, like, who's the head honcho on Raw booking the matches? Why would they want King Corbin on the show? Not only is he an arsehole, but there's much better people about than King Corbin. And you're trying to pop a rating, and you bring in him. Oh.
Maybe he does good for ratings.
It would be nice to see Drew smash his face in, though.
Remember
I think
when...
that's what they're going for, isn't it?
Remember
See
when...
Corbin get head kicked in. Monday Night Raw.
Remember when Corbin would be the one who'd have the match on TakeOver where he'd beat, like, Austin Aries or someone, and everyone would go, oh, well, it wasn't the best match on the show, but it was, you know, old school heel work from this Baron Corbin fella. But no one... Imagine if we'd known then that he was going to dominate the main roster scene like he has done for the past... Oh, it's been... He's always there. He's always there. I'm losing my mind. Oh, my God. I'm all right. I just can't... I just had a moment of clarity. I just realised, like, how long Corbin's been just dominating for. He's absolutely everywhere.
I like him, mate. I just don't like this King stuff he's doing. It's so basic and bloody 1970s, isn't it? How he does it, though. I know the irony, but, you know.
Oh, I see.
Everyone always...
Oh, makes sense now.
Everyone always... When there's a King of the Ring tournament, does everyone get excited at the prospect of a King gimmick, or do they not? Or does everyone... I can't remember what everyone's reaction was like.
Imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin did it.
Yeah, well...
What would have happened? Why did it? I don't know why everyone has to be a king.
Booker T did it well. It depends sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends on the guy. King Mabel, perfect. And then we have a rough series of stuff to happen on Raw. R-Truth is in a 6-man tag match. And he kept on going back and forth between Pretty Ricky and R-Truth before putting away MVP and his team of Home and Away. Then Lashley attacks Truth again. What did you guys think of R-Truth going for one character, the Dwayne Dibley type, and then going back to R-Truth?
Apparently he did it a decade or so ago on SmackDown, which I had no idea about.
I vaguely remember it from, again, 10 years ago on SmackDown. And we were supposed to go, oh, it's Pretty Ricky. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I had no idea about it. Because I thought it was initially a bit of a jibe at Ricochet, because Ricochet is called Pretty Ricky on Twitter, isn't he? I thought it was that, but apparently he's been doing it on TikTok, and he did it on SmackDown however long ago, so, yeah.
Is that WWE Presents TikTok?
Probably.
Hashtag.
Tout.
Oh, tout.
And then Seth has a tag match with the undead Rey Mysterio Jr. Quick, get away from Seth. And he gets DQ'd.
Oh!
Hey, let's go to the news section. I was going to say, do you want me to read the bit and then we'll have a comment? Brian Alvarez reached out to WWE and he confirmed on the Wrestling Observer Live that the Monday Night Messiah was disqualified because of a secret Vince McMahon rule. A long-established rule within a tag team match is that both superstars can be in the ring together at the same time for 5 seconds and they can attack however they want. This rule did not apply to Rollins, however, who was DQ'd because he attacked the master of the 619 why is he using these bloody stupid names? Outside of those 5 seconds. Alvarez says, I later found out there is in fact a secret rule. Blah, 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 blah. Outside the 5 seconds, if you're not the legal man, you cannot touch the other man's legal man team. I haven't said that right. And Vince McMahon is adamant that this is enforced. So if you're legal and you're allowed to hit the other team's illegal man, but the illegal man cannot touch the legal man, so Ray, because he's illegal, is allowed to hit Seth on the apron because Seth on the apron is not allowed to hit Ray. I'm already falling asleep.
But as Alvarez pointed out, you can still break up a pin.
But that's
not get
him.
DQ. Yeah, but
That's special.
What?
I'm sure. I couldn't be asked to go back and check, but I'm sure I've seen it a million times. The heel illegal man on the apron twatting the legal babyface man. The referee sees it and goes, "What are you doing, man?" I'm sure I've seen that a million times.
Yeah,
There's a button for it on the games.
How dare you so-called journalists not know about the secret Vince McMahon rule? Then Rey Mysterio had his face shoved into a ring step, and I took a screenshot of it because it looked like whatever. And then people point out, wait a minute, does Rey Mysterio Jr. have the word mask on his mask?
Yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
I forgot about it. I didn't even notice it until Boyd pointed it out. I was immune to these silly things in wrestling. So that was one silly thing, followed by another silly thing, and then followed the silliest of silly things. So the Street Profits challenged the Viking Raiders to a basketball match. Game, whatever. Sorry, watch The Last Dance. You think I know how to say it properly. And, they annihilated them. They wiped the floor with them. Then the Viking Raiders revealed, actually, we are good at basketball, and then started landing, shots from the halfway line. And you're like,
Yeah.
right. So you do know in the film White Men Can't Jump, which is something they referenced during this bit, the whole point is to make them feel like they're not very good, and then they trick them and go, oh, look, tell you, if I get this one shot in, can we have a tag title shot? And then he gets it in, and then that's the joke. This was, no, they actually are good, but they're going to lose the match anyway. And you wonder if, did they even finish right in this script? And then they just showed at them and go, well, all right, it looks like there's some stuff missing out here. Maybe it went page 1, 2, 3, 6. You're like, whatever, we'll just improvise. So I don't know what the hell the point of this was.
It's not about the titles, though. It's just about the Vikings proving they're the best tag team on Raw. That's all it's all about. Don't care about the titles.
What?
And then Hansen swazzed it in from the halfway line. That proved beyond any shadow of any doubt that the Viking Raiders are a better tag team in the professional wrestling ring than the Street Profits are. That was what the story was there. And
then I stopped watching this point because I was fed up. Apparently we're getting Randy Orton versus Edge again.
On the surface, this makes no sense whatsoever, but Randy Orton made it make perfect sense, which was weird.
Now,
do you want me to go on, Jack?
Oh, go on, why don't you?
Right, so Edge has come back and he's had the Royal Rumble appearance and he's had a last man standing match, not traditional wrestling matches. Therefore, Randy Orton thinks Edge is hiding behind these gimmick matches and thinks he's lost a step inside those 4 ropes when there's just mono a mono and one-on-one and all that malarkey. So Orton challenged him to a bog standard singles match, which I think Edge will accept. But the pressure is on, Maffew. The pressure is on. Because out of nowhere, Charlie Caruso completely out the blue just went, and if this match does take place, Maffew, it should be, I think she said, or might be, the best match of all time. Out of nowhere it came. It was so weird.
And it's how Raw went off the air as well, with just all
Orton
3
and
of
Edge
them
looking confused, like what?
All 3 of them looking at the camera. This could be the greatest match of all time. Oh, why have they said that?
That wasn't the worst line on Raw, though, just quickly. Did you like Natalia's tough talk to Shayna Baszler? When she's like to Shayna, do you know how silly you look having a go at motherhood or something like that?
Oh.
The backstage, oh God, the dude. And Natalia as well going, you're just a fake wrestler, Shayna Baszler. Oh. What is that about? Anyway, back to Orton and Edge.
I just zone out because whenever I listen to Natalia, she usually saying, bitch. Any other thoughts on an amazingly well-written episode of Raw before they dropped all the big sheet of papers they had and then had to scramble to put them in the right order
I like to think that all the script writers in isolation all week long with their kids, she was like, go on, there's page 3 of the Raw script, son, 5-year-old boy, go and write it.
Yeah, sure, just get me hair for 5 minutes, just write Raw. Yeah, R2's pretty Ricky, yeah, sure, whatever. Anyway, then Vice put up the Legion of Doom episode of the Dark Side of the Ring. In terms of content, it wasn't the darkest side of the ring, if that makes sense, because the Legion of Doom story was they were the coolest tag team in wrestling for, 5 years or so? Well, from 86. oh Christ, until like maybe 92, 93-ish, a little bit, whatever. Yeah, they were the coolest looking guys. They were big, heavy, whatever, bouncers in wherever it was in America they lived. Maybe it's Wyoming, who knows. And then they stopped being because of the rock and roll lifestyle. So it was an alright 45 minutes. You've never seen anything about the Road Warriors before, but yeah, any other thoughts?
Do you know who lives in Wyoming?
Who lives in Wyoming?
Eric Bischoff.
Ah.
Sorry, go on, Ross.
It doesn't matter.
No, go on.
I've learned that Eric Bischoff lives in Wyoming. That's all I need to do.
Well, he's got one of his...
No, go on, Jack, go on.
I want to know more about Wyoming.
I'm just saying, it's one of his several residences. One of them's in Wyoming.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you know which residence it is? Is it the wife swapping shag pad, or is it allegedly?
Why don't more people talk about that? Yeah. Anyway.
No, I was going to say I had no idea about Hawk going off to Japan and replacing Animal with that man I've forgotten the name of. I had no idea about that.
Sensu Sasaki?
Power Warrior.
Yeah, Power Warrior.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Man,
yeah. It's like, and they were the Hellraisers. It was great. It was like, okay. And Animal's there going, well, I'll protect the integrity of the team by not getting someone to replace him. Watches Japan TV one day. He's like, wait a minute. That's me. I did like clarifying the story at SummerSlam 92 where Hawk was so messed up because they didn't do the Doomsday device. And as a kid, like, why doesn't they do the cool finish? And yeah, he was on something that was making him hallucinate. So Animal just says, he can't do the Doomsday device. Why not? If he goes to the top rope, he's going to fall off. So that's why it ended with a scoop
that spot at the end where it's the finish, isn't it? Where he's literally like, get out the way, I'm going to run the ropes.
He's like, whee! He's like, move. So it was all right, but it just can't compare to Herb Abrams, third place Hall of Famer. Just saying.
Next week should be good, though. It's Owen Hart next week, isn't it?
Oh.
I'm sure Martha's in it as well. I think I saw the advert yesterday. Don't quote me on
Martha
that.
doing that?
I was tired. I think it was Martha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Bruce will be there, no doubt. So
it'll all be
AEW.
about Bruce. I remember Chris Renfrew sent Bruce straight to hell because he always used to take over everything on screen when he was there.
Yeah.
Which I
He does
never
as
knew.
well.
Yeah.
But when you go back and watch it, oh my god. He's the worst.
Bruce, do you have any suggestions? Yes, I think I should beat Steve Austin and win the WF title. Bruce, you know you're not booked for this episode, right? Oh, all right, never mind.
Was Bruce in the Vince Bret match at WrestleMania?
Was he not a ref?
Was he the ref?
I think they all were that part of the Hart family. They're all big.
Did Bruce
merged
stand
together.
on Vince's back or something?
Sure. He tried to stay in the ring for the entire show. It was like, let me at Triple H. Anyway, AEW Dynamite. Start off the show with Cody and Vance Archer brawling, with Cody driving his big old car into some stuff.
No.
Like, probably gonna move by with just one hand, but whatever.
Absolutely
it looks
fantastic.
And why did this happen? Jake Roberts said a few things. What did he say, Ross?
I don't care. Well, yeah. This took a turn this week, didn't it? Jake the Snake saying women like Brandy should stay in the kitchen and change the diapers and keep him warm at night. And Jake likes to have a lady come round to his house, but to make sure he's excited, she puts on Lance Archer's matches. So we found out why Jake the Snake Roberts is aligned with Lance Archer. It's because he fancies the mohawk off him.
That's right.
But we need to speak more about that Cody Rhodes bit because it was utterly pointless and cheesy, and it was straight from 1984, and I loved it.
Oh God!
Why did he have to drive 10 yards to knock over some things like that, where that truck could flatten everything? That truck could flatten a building how big it is. It's like a ting.
Oh no!
God.
Cody's made his way into the arena.
It's that shot from inside the car where Cody's like. It was like Halloween Havoc 95, wasn't it? With Hogan. I loved it, mate.
Man.
I can't go over it. I can't go under it. I have to go through it. Oh, so good.
I feel like
Go on.
well, the whole what it was meant to show was that Cody's really angry because of what they did to his wife last week, right? But instead of like going after him with a bat or something that an actual, like, I was thinking what would Moxley do in this situation, because that's more what it should have been, like a more wild, out of control thing. But he turns up in his personalized truck with the logo on the front and on this headrest, and then lightly nudges the barricade and gets into a bit of a scrap. I love 90% of what Cody does in AEW, but this was weird. It didn't work. I was sad about it.
It was one of those ideas that was a lot better on a bit of paper than it was in practice.
Yeah.
But still, it was fantastic all the same.
Yeah, they did a great job hyping up Cody versus Jake. It's almost a shame it's going to be Cody versus Archer on the pay-per-view. I did like Jake Roberts' Jamie Dundee style lines. When Jamie Dundee was in ECW, he had that, "I'm from the South, where men are men and women are trained."
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
So good. Best Friends beat Jurassic Express after MJF's crew interfere. And also, Phoenix, the Cultaholic Wrestler of the Year, flew in from out of nowhere, just off screen, literally.
He got him good and proper, didn't he?
Oh, amazing. Knocked the orange right out of him. What were you going to say, Jack?
I was just going to say Phoenix is... I was the same as you. Phoenix is amazing. Love Phoenix.
Hikaru Shida wins a 4-way match and will face Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing. Britt Baker goes after Chris Statlander and sets up a match between the pair for the pay-per-view as well.
Yeah, the title match is a no DQ, no countouts match.
Yes.
That was set up brilliantly. I found your kendo stick, bitch. Boom.
So that's nice to return there. Then Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega defeated Ortiz and Santana. Despite Sammy's broken neck interference. Bless him.
I liked how he was limping with a broken neck.
Best thing about AEW, that lad.
Do you think... I'm kind of wanting to win that casino ladder match.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Jim Ross was good in this episode, on this match. Ortiz gave Omega a back rake, and Tony Schiavone's put it over and describing how effective a back rake can be, and Jim Ross just goes, "Oh yeah? How many times has that won a match?"
Jim was having a great time. I got the impression that Jim was pleased to be out of the house for this one. He was having a great time on commentary.
You could see his tail waggling.
Yeah.
And Pineapple Pete, after weeks of build-up, finally got that match with Chris Jericho, and he went the distance. And by distance, I mean 10 yards, which is how far he was knocked back with the Judas effect. Went a proud 1 minute and 1 second.
I was gutted, me.
Yeah.
Been waiting all week for Pineapple Pete to get his hands on Jericho.
Imagine the
time to be named after a fruit on AEW, is it? And
Wait,
post-match...
Orange.
Yeah, it wasn't great, sorry. Post-match, Jericho challenges Hardy's crew to a stadium stampede match and then kills Vanguard 1.
Which Jim Ross mocked. That's a human life that's been lost there.
Yeah, he was great. And then Brody Lee beats Christopher Daniels in the main event, but Moxie arrives and chases him off to close the show. Said he would have been there earlier, but some idiot had double parked some Jeep right in front of the show and you had to go around it. And also, little announcement, Mike Tyson will be presenting the new TNT title at the pay-per-view. Hopefully it's that up-and-comer Hot Lion Code Roadie.
Hot Lion Code.
I think that's what he was like at Royal Rumble 98. Shawn Michaels is up-and-coming Hungry Tiger. And he can't wait to see Cold Stone beat him. Oh, good time.
Oh, my man Cold Stone at the Rumble when he bet on him to win the Rumble and he won big.
Yeah.
Cold Stone is the
every time
man.
they just cut from the Rumble, they look at Tyson going, yeah.
Wasn't he sat with Shane?
Yeah, in the box, yeah.
Yeah, Shane, look after Mike, please.
It's good.
Well, they're both boxers.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Go on,
yeah.
go on, Ross.
No, I was just going to say, where do you sit on this? Because obviously all the haters are saying, like, oh, you're just copying the WWF from back in 1998. But I like Mike Tyson's making a return to boxing now. Are you serious?
Is he really, though? I've seen him sparring and training, but...
Oh, well, you're surprised after seeing him sparring and training. He hasn't lost a step.
Have you heard what?
For 20 seconds, he looked like that, yeah.
That's all you need, Maffew. Look at the Judas effect.
Have you heard what Dana White
If it's a
said?
1 round, 3-minute match, it's going to be an amazing thing. Anything else, it's going to... Anyway, go on.
But no, I was
Have
just
you
going to
ever-
say, because like, just everyone's speaking about Tyson again, aren't they? I think that's more why they did it than... I'm not trying to defend them, I'm just trying to put it out there as a perspective, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you are. Although I'm crapping all over it. Oh, if Mike Tyson's making a comeback, I'm watching it.
I'll tell you
Well,
what, I
you-
hope that... Sorry, Jack, go on.
I was just going to say briefly, like, have you heard what Dana White's been saying?
No.
He
said
says a
that-
lot of things,
Well, apparently Dana
especially
White
against
is
Golden Boy Promotions. Anyway, sorry, Karen.
the De La Hoya's thing. Yeah. Apparently, Dana and Tyson are actually like proper friends, and Dana said that he really doesn't want Mike Tyson to get back into boxing, and that he sort of implied that he'll even pay him not to if he's doing it for money because he's broke, which is odd. I don't know, because now that's got me thinking, is Tyson just doing this because he's quite desperate for money right now, and AEW have gone, we'll give you, I don't know, it's just a bit
I thought he
weird.
had that massive weed farm. That was quite lucrative for him.
Where's that?
I've got no idea. Probably Wyoming.
There you go.
There you go, Ross. Thank you.
But I hope they're building towards Mike Tyson sparking out Jake the Snake Roberts. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh my god.
What a moment that would be.
Bloody hell. Mike Tyson was probably watching Jake Roberts when Mike Tyson was a kid. Who was that? Well, we're going to get Evander Holyfield Tyson Part 3, because Evander Holyfield's always been old, so he's used to this, and Tyson's apparently good for a good Instagram clip. But just thinking about what Dana White's been saying about Goldberg Promotions has reminded me about another news story that we've somehow forgotten this week. Probably because it fell on a Friday or Saturday. Because, again, we filmed this on a Thursday, and then inevitably something really important and newsworthy happens. Alberto Del Rio.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Bloody hell. Yeah, that's a nice thing to bring up, isn't it? Don't know why I brought it up, to be honest with you. Just to acknowledge that we have read it, and yeah.
It's never the ones you expect.
Shout outs to a happy memory of when we saw him at WCPW, and you could tell he was a nice, sane individual, had everything on the wraps when he was told, for the love of God, do not bring up the fact that Paige is in the crowd, because she is still technically a WWE employee, despite the fact she's trying to get herself, removed from the company. They're like, no, we're not going to rid of you. We're doing the huge fighting for my family thing, so we can't do anything to you. Anyway, okay. Came out, one of the first things was, I am Del Patron, and there's my wife, Paige.
Oh god. It was so uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
I'm glad that, because recently, when me and Pachi were in London doing a press event, Paige was there, and she was like, when I introduced myself, she was like, have we met before? She obviously like recognized me. I was like, yeah, briefly. I used to work at WCPW, and I just felt really bad bringing. And I just felt really bad bringing up like what was like a crap time in her life, because she was just kind of like, oh right, yeah, okay, and we didn't dwell on it. But I remember thinking like, she's in a much better place now, which is nice, I suppose. Nice way of looking at it. But yeah, he's a scary man.
He assaulted me.
He assaulted Ross.
He slapped me, Maffew, right in the titties.
Why?
Do you remember that story about the? Do you remember that story about the red turtle that Del Rio beat up?
No.
Matthew?
What? Oh, the Ninja Turtle, yes.
Yeah, that was Ross.
I forgot about that. Oh, no, I mean, it's such a horrible story. So we'll just, rather than bring up the horrible details, which you can find yourself at cultaholic.com, we'll just take the piss out of it instead, because it's much funnier and easier on the ears. Yeah, the best headline you'll ever see in any wrestling thing, Del Rio gets in fight with Ninja Turtle backstage at wrestling show.
Yeah.
When was this?
Oh, you remember? No. Mate, that's a funny, because there was an abundance of Ninja Turtle gimmicks in Lucha Libre for a brief period. There's a famous photo that does a round every now and again with like, there's 4 evil turtles giving 4 good turtles a multi-turtle suplex, I guess. So it's like you get the impression there's nothing but turtle gimmicks. And yeah, it's just Del Rio gets in fight with Ninja Turtle, and was it Raphael? Was it Donatello?
I remember seeing the headlines. I remember seeing like Del Rio batters Raphael backstage. But no, Ross, why did he What was that for again? Was that an intro or something that he slapped
We
you?
were doing a little skit for the intros he used to do for my videos, and I was like, "Oh, can we just do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." He was nice then on that brief 5-minute interaction I had with him, and then unprompted, he just slapped me right in the titties, quite hard as well. And I know still because I'm hard.
Yeah.
I was crying afterwards though.
Just told him he knew Marco Krokop. And in NXT news, oh, here we go. NXT was
Margo Krokop.
That's not his name, is it?
Mergo.
Oh no! Mark, and that's his brother. It's much cheaper. Riddle and Thatcher defend the tag titles against Imperium, but a miscommunication leads to Thatcher walking out on his partner. Riddle loses, and we have new champs in Imperium.
Sorry,
Maffew.
Pete Dunne's going to be fuming.
Well,
No way.
I'm assuming that Thatcher's going to join Imperium because. Maffew, you're the Imperium expert here. Would you say that's what's going to happen?
How dare you say that? I've never known what an Imperium is. Who? What? No, the unrelated knockoff Ring Kampf, big fans of. Well, we got some lovely exchanges between Axel Dieter Jr. and Thatcher on the mat, and he goes, "Oh," I'm like, ready to type out. That's nice. That's what they used to do. That's what made them so great.
I think you mean Marcel Bartel.
Who?
Marcel Bartel.
I don't know who that is, pal. Sorry. It must have been released last month. And then that set up Thatcher versus Riddle for later on in the night. So Thatcher being a knacker backstage and attacking Riddle. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to get you. And then we had a proper dub-x-dub match between the pair of them. All ring work and mat work and stuff. And even Morrow, bless him, saying, aha, that patented move of his, the Fujiwara armbar. And you're like, pretty hard to patent something with the guy's names in it, but never mind. And it was like, oh, okay, that's interesting to see that they're actually doing Timothy Thatcher straight up. So if he joins Imperium, well, maybe I'm saying that right, maybe I'm not, then that might be the good thing for him.
If he joins, will you be more a fan of them? Because they're more like Ring Kampf. Okay, right, okay.
They're only doing this to appease you though, Maffew.
As we said beforehand, this show is watched by people in WWE. I'm conflicted for my desire to be cool and independent and fresh and do a podcast with Cultaholic and be positive about the wrestling on TV.
Yeah, that's what we are. That's what you come for, cool and fresh is here.
Look at my Sonic shirt. Ooh. Look at my 98 haircut. Yeah, we've got it. Moving on, so I'd have to make a decision. Jake Atlas and Jack Gallagher pick up wins in the Interim Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. Gallagher's win over Tony Nese ambushes Isaiah Swerve Scott. What?
Yeah, sorry, his win happens after Tony Nese gets involved.
Yes.
Next week, it's Drake Maverick versus Kushida. It's the big one next week. I thought it was this week, and I was wrong.
Yeah. What do you think then, Jack?
I still think you can't beat Kushida. It's bloody Kushida. He's tougher and better at wrestling in kayfabe. How is he going to beat Kushida? Do you think he's going to beat Kushida? Guys?
Leaving Jack out to dry for a bit. I think I will watch that episode and enjoy it.
Do you think he's going to beat Kushida?
Wasn't Drake, he was on a few weeks ago, was he? It's only Kushida. I can do it. Go on, yeah. He's overconfident, straight Maverick.
Yeah, he's not going to.
Bite him on the arse.
Pacini reckons he's going to beat Kushida. I think he's not going to beat Kushida.
Oh, now you told me what he said. I think Kushida's going to knacker him.
He's the WCPW World Cup winner.
Who, Pacini?
No, he came second or something.
Oh. There's some guy from Scotland. Cameron Grimes beats Finn Balor. Yes, that's right. After interference from Damian Priest, Priest continues the assault after the match, reveals that it's him, Austin. It was him all along, Austin. Oh, that's nice.
Cheers.
Yeah. And
so he's been attacking.
That was it. Apart from... go on.
Balor, sorry. So Balor... So I've not been following Balor that closely in NXT. Is he a babyface now? Is he like a tweener?
You're asking all the hard questions this week, aren't you? I don't know what he is. He was a dick, and then he wasn't a dick, and he has a dick, and question mark.
He does. We've seen that.
Oof.
Good.
It's almost as big as Wyoming. And
No, actually, Wyoming's one of the bigger US states, despite being one of the least populated. It's one of the most sparsely populated US states.
oh. Also on this episode of NXT, Killer Cross had a video package set to the old WF Armageddon theme. You came to me in a dream last night. Basically the Jim Johnston knockoff of The Doors, The End. So it was good to hear that again.
It was, yeah. They used that for a pay-per-view theme a few years ago, didn't they?
The End, I think.
Is that the one where
NXT TakeOver The End.
Samoa Joe beat the demon?
In the cage.
In the cage.
In the cage, aye.
That's why it was The End. Yes, I remember that. Good show, Ross. I forgot about that.
Wow.
Was he all demoned up in that one? Oh,
I'm sure he was, wasn't he?
I can't remember, yeah. It's not the one where... There was one where... Was it Dallas? Where Balor bled early on, or Joe bled? One of them was just bleeding everywhere from the start.
That's right, yes.
But it wasn't that, yeah.
It was not, because this one was in the cage, so...
Yeah.
God, we're just being very exciting this week. So there was a lot of wrestling. NXT was an improvement over last week's supposed Super Show.
We've missed a bit.
Oh.
Have we indeed? By bugger, what have we missed?
In Your House is coming back?
Oh, yeah.
You're not excited, Maffew?
You not seen the sexy logo?
I was excited until they had, bloody DX show up and go, "Hey!" I'm like, all right, hi. Because I used to like NXT a lot. I used to, this is Brian James. Hey! I used to love NXT because it was different to Raw and SmackDown. But seeing all the DX show up, I'm like, oh, they're the ones who basically turned NXT into their little thing now. So it's hard to watch NXT now and feel the same thing I used to, because it's just these guys' pet projects, and everyone looks and acts like they do on Raw, but the lighting's yellow instead of red or blue. So I was like,
Scathing.
thanks, guys. I don't watch NXT to watch you hairy knackers talk about the hog pen match from '95. God, I'm miserable this week, aren't I? Ross, what did you think about it?
I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's a nice, considering the times we're living in at the minute, I thought it was a nice little thing to do. A lot of people going, where's the original creativity these days? I think there's no better time to do it than now, so good on them. Hopefully there's a little house as the Tron. If there's not one, what's the point? That's my thoughts.
On that beautiful note, we'll move on to the next segment.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
Before we got the mailbag, did anyone else see? What the hell was that?
It was a clown horn, wasn't it?
Was that you, Jack? 'Cause it wasn't me.
Sorry?
I heard like a horn.
Yeah, they were. Well,
Oh, I don't know.
all right, well, yeah, I heard that. All right, start again.
Sorry if it was.
Don't
I
start
know what it
again. We'll keep going. We need people to work this stuff out. I want to listen to this back. Hear what that noise was.
was. I didn't hear anything. It must have been...
Mysteries of the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast solved.
10 seconds before Jack's murdered by a clown. Let's have a look in the mailbag. Number 1. Evening, gents. Loosely tying into Becky Lynch's wonderful announcement on Raw, I recently became a father for the first time and have been experiencing the rich tapestry of early parenthood, all while not being able to go outside. We've just hit the 3-month mark and are getting some semblance of order back to our lives, but I now have far less time on my hands to watch wrestling. As a fan who got into wrestling a lot later than many others, having not watched ever, I got into it in my late 20s. I have no idea why, but here we are. I initially cast my net wide to see what would appeal to me. However, having watched or followed quite a bit, I need to trim down my watching now to just one weekly show. I've settled on AEW, with New Japan big shows where I take over when I can. My question is, if you were only able to follow one promotion weekly, which one would it be? Thanks, hope you're all keeping safe, sane and well. Cheers for the content, your videos were what gave my initial gateway into wrestling, so thanks. Barney.
Oh,
That's nice, Barney. Well, congrats on the kid. I hope you're getting at least 2 hours of sleep a night. If so, you'd be very lucky. And that's interesting to think of someone in their 20s gets into wrestling because they watch stuff like this.
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's not that he's weird. I'm just saying it's weird that we've
have
ruined
that
someone's life
power.
in such a way. Yeah, the terrible power.
Yeah. So that's a good question. If you suddenly have a real life, a normal life, and you can only watch one wrestling show a week because of, responsibilities, Which one are you picking, Ross?
AEW for me. I just genuinely or generally enjoy it more. Just as a show, there's more. There's just less that makes you sort of eye roll. If that is that not too much of a pretentious thing to say?
That's not pretentious, Ross.
They do storytelling better. All promotions have fantastic matches. I think that's just a given. We're sat here in 2020, but AEW's intertwined storyline a lot better than WWE do, and I think that's the big difference maker for me. And their comedy hits the point a lot more on the shows, not necessarily being the elite, because I've fallen off that wagon as well with you, Maffew. But yeah, AEW does a lot more for me than watching WWE does. But I guess then again, they offer different audiences, aren't they? So I don't know, but AEW's my answer. I'm trying not to be too much of a shill.
That beautifully put, Ross. I simply prefer AEW more than WWE, because AEW more not tries to live in reality, tries to be a proper show, whereas WWE still insists on, here we are at the WWE Super Event, hashtag sponsored by Dairy Queen, hashtag trademark Duke, the greatest match of all time will be Randy Orton versus Edge. And what do you think, Jack?
I agree with both of you. Mine would be AEW as well. For the reasons that you've both said, like the storylines are better and the promos are generally better. But also, just to add to that, I think that, I don't know how I'd really describe it. They're better at, AEW aren't afraid of doing something that's cool or stupid just for the sake of it being cool or stupid, if that makes sense. Like, they're not afraid to have these bigger set-piece moments just because wrestling should be fun, and they've remembered that wrestling should be fun, and it sort of is. They're doing a really good job. So mine would be Dynamite as well.
Ah, thank you to unrelated Tony Blank Check Khan for that question. So, yeah. Question number 2. Hola, Los Diddlers Tres.
Oh.
Butchered that, sorry. I was rewatching the Omega Hangman versus Young Bucks match from AW Revolution, and Kenny's kick out at 1 from the Golden Trigger is my favourite part. The storyline elements with Ibushi, combined with the shock from the crowd and commentary team, was unbelievable. I legit spat my drink out the first time I watched it. That being said, is there a moment like this from the middle of a match that you guys remember being completely caught off guard by? Much love, Trembo. Oh, thank you. Muchas gracias, Trembo, for the question. Any bit that threw you off? That's a good question, then.
I've got one.
Oh, go on, Ross.
WrestleMania 33. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. I'll never forget being inside that stadium. Sort of, because we were sort of raised up a bit on the side so we could sort of see the canvas, and just that whatever happened, out of nowhere, there was utter confusion in the stadium, I think, because they weren't initially showing it on the Trons. If I remember correctly, I can only say because obviously we were raised up a bit. But yeah, that. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. As far as I can remember. Then again, I was pissed as a fuck.
I was going to say, had you not had a feel by this point?
I was steaming.
That was a bit of a endurance test, that one, because it was in the boiling heat as well, that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
See, because I was like a kid. So even though it was like 7 hours long or whatever, I was like, yeah, more wrestling. I loved it.
They are a lot better when you're there live, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I went back and checked the reviews, and people were like, God, the show never ended. It was bad. I'm like, mate, when you're there live, it's all right.
Yeah.
We had that WrestleMania 30. I came away from WrestleMania 32 thinking, wow, what a show that was. It's amazing. And then everyone's like, what a worst WrestleMania ever.
WrestleMania 32, which is still happening to this day.
I'll always have a soft spot for 32 just because it was first one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And it had what we like. Even though the matches weren't all very good, it had like what you want. It had like Austin coming out and The Rock, and it had all the things that you want from that. Just not for the viewers at home, I suppose.
Yeah.
Never mind. Oh, I do.
Off guard minutes. Yeah, I was going to say the thing. Storyline thing that caught me off when it happened. It sounds silly in hindsight, but when Hardcore Holly and Cody Rhodes took on Legacy, and then Cody went, suppose supposed to have a special timekeeper here, was it? Who's going, aha, it's me, and then turn on Hardcore and then join up with them to give them the tag titles. That was the last we ever saw of Hardcore Holly. Wow. I was actually genuinely shocked by it. In hindsight, it's the most obvious thing in the world, but they've been a tag team for so long that... And that was about 100 years ago, so clearly I've not been shocked by anything since. What about you, Jack?
Oh, the weird thing is, right, when you read this question out, something did immediately spring to mind, but it's not from a wrestling match, it's from a football match. So, remember the Manchester derby when City beat United like 6-1?
Yep.
When I was tucking into a sandwich at my uni bar watching that match, and when Balotelli scored the opener and revealed the T-shirt that said "Why always me," I nearly choked on my sandwich. It was such sports entertainment. I've never been so sports entertained. Honestly, I couldn't believe the audacity
very
of the
different to a
match.
sandwich.
Oh God, I'm dying. So mine's Mario Balotelli and the "Why Always Me" T-shirt. So good.
Good answer.
Like to point out, I'd just like to point out for any fans who might be annoyed, I'm not a fan of either team. I was just a pure neutral, and it was probably better.
I'm a fan of Man City when they beat Man United, so... Hello, ding-dong diddlerinos. Oh, Christ. Due to the current climate, being in self-isolation has me thinking about some of life's biggest questions. Is there a God? Will there ever be world peace? And one of the biggest, how did The Undertaker die? I am not mistaken, in kayfabe, it's not explained how The Undertaker originally died and then to come back again as the dead man, basically a supernatural zombie. How would you personally explain his origin story? A crazy example would be that Vince McMahon signed a talented young wrestler who died from a botched move, but being that powerful and hating anything he can't control, including death, made a deal with a supernatural force to keep the dead superstar wrestling, just to get back his investment, because money. The Undertaker was that much of a draw and makes so much money for Vince, he will never let him rest in peace. Keep up the great work. I've been following since the Name Redacted days, we've mentioned about 5 times this episode, so whereupon stumbling across one of your videos brought me back into wrestling. Stay safe, Kirky from Leicester. Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
What a question.
Yeah, what's a kayfabe explanation for Undertaker being dead? I like that bit they've said there, like basically he died and Vince McMahon's like, no you're not. Grease the palms of the Grim Reaper. Like those policemen that saw Jimmy Snuka doing something. What have you got, Jack?
I always assumed that he was meant to have died in the fire that him and Kane were caught in as children.
Kane
was supposed to have. Yeah, that's Kane.
No, but Kane was... Yeah, everyone thought that Kane had died, but he was only very badly burned. But mentally.
Psychologically.
But, yeah. Sorry for nearly forgetting that. But I thought that Taker had died as well, but somehow lived on as a dead man, dead boy, dead adolescent, I don't know. So I don't know. I always just assumed that's where he died. I don't know. I've not really thought about this very much.
It's a good
Has
question.
anyone got any ideas? Yeah.
Will it be in the early 1990s? I'm going to put it down to grunge. And just being always hungover and a bit sad. But also very deep and meaningful. And
That's the tagline of grunge as a genre, that. Always hungover and a bit sad.
Yeah. It's like a metaphor for Gobbledygooker's career, showing up, dying, and then coming back as The Undertaker. This vengeful spirit who is going to continue going on until people are going to cheer for Gobbledygooker. So that's why he's keeps on going 30 years later. Because it's never going to happen. No, nice question, Kirky. Thank you very much. And that was all the questions there. And I started reading Reese's Pieces because they're all stuck together in one big chunk of letters. So I'll do the bit now where I plug. If you would like to send us any of your fantastic, lovely letters, please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. Now it's time for Reese's Pieces. Segment so sweet, they named after a candy. Jesus Christ.
Segment so sweet. Candy name.
Candy something Wyoming. All right. Take two.
No. That's not.
yeah,
No.
Oh yeah, would hate to edit anything off this podcast, wouldn't we, Jack? Swing. Reese's Pieces. Salutations, lads. I've thought of a fun-themed Reese's Pieces for this week. Bet you it isn't. With the emergence of some promising new WWE factions, such as Rollins and his Disciplines, or Andrade and the Vega Boys.
Disciples.
His karate and his jiu-jitsu.
He does do kicks and that.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, if you'd like to put it, Rollins and his disciples.
Yeah.
Or Andrade and the Vega Boys. I like that one. I was wondering who you guys' favourite members of different stables and groups were. I hope you enjoy this Reese's Pieces. That definitely isn't just an excuse for me to work in my cracking Vega Boys joke. No, I think that's a good one, mate. Well done. So, first time watching this, it's fastest thought first. Go round, let's say Jack, Ross, me.
And before we begin, sorry, this was a Reese's piece from quite a few weeks ago, but I wanted to get it in at some point. So this is the week. This is your chance. I think the lad's called Reese. We'll find out at the end, but this is your chance, mate. There you go.
Sweet. All right, so Seth Rollins or Buddy Murphy?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Oh, Seth, he's just had a kid. All right. Andrade or Angel Garza?
Angel Garza, you know.
Angel Garza.
Oh, Andrade, just to be nice to them. Tyler Bate or Trent Seven?
Tyler Bate. I mean, sorry, Trent Seven. Funnier, Trent Seven.
Tyler Bate.
Trent Shagger 7. Triple H or Shawn Michaels?
Oh, Triple H, but I disagree with myself, but Triple H.
Shawn.
Triple H, because no one ever asks who's better, Triple H or Bret Hart. Billy Gunn or Road Dogg?
Oh, I liked Road Dogg more as a kid.
Road Dogg, yeah.
Road Dogg. X-Pac or Hornswoggle? The X-Members.
What? Oh, DX. Yeah, Hornswoggle isn't DX, isn't he? I'll go for Hornswoggle because obviously we met him in Vegas and he was really sound.
Yeah, Hornswoggle. Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
you met X-Pac as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I met them both. Both really nice guys, but me and Hornswoggle enjoyed some completely ridiculously overpriced Jack Daniels, so I'm going to say that, so it makes it look like it was worthwhile. Adam Cole or Kyle O'Reilly?
Ooh. Kyle O'Reilly because he's funny.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly, a.k.a. the one in that group who's got personality. Stephen Richards or Bull Buchanan?
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, I'll say again. Stephen Richards or Bull Buchanan?
Roderick Strong's got personality, and Adam Cole's got and Bobby Fish in his own grizzled way. They've all got
It's the
personality.
same one.
It's not the same one.
White dude who kicks is not a personality.
They're like...
It's a description.
Roddy Strong is a high school jock. He was still a high school jock even though he's 30, whatever. Bobby Fish... How
Grizzled
many fish
man.
does he smell?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm rubbing off on you, Ross. So to speak.
They're kind of like, you know, what's that Pixar film called where they're all different emotions of the same kid? Oh, balls. Inside Out.
King.
Inside Out, yeah.
Like, it's like Inside Out. I feel like the Undisputed Era are all different moods of one white indie dude. That's how I see it anyway.
Yeah, that works as a insult compliment thing. Stephen Richards or Bull Buchanan? The world needs to know.
Oh, Bull Buchanan.
Oh, White Sox all day long. These White Sox.
Oh, White Sox.
Stephen Richards because of No Mercy. He was a headliner in that game.
Yes.
Blue Meanie or Nova? BWO representing.
Blue Meanie.
Blue Meanie.
Yeah, I've hung out with Meanie. I like him.
Yeah, one of the
Reigns.
nicest wrestlers I've ever met. Despite being called Meanie. So nice.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that, yeah. Roman Reigns or John Moxley?
Moxley.
Well, I mean, is Moxley in the same stable as Roman Reigns, is he? Is
Shield for life.
Dean Ambrose.
Do you know Sammy Guevara or Jake Hager?
Sammy
good
Guevara.
Lord. Oh my God.
Poor Ross there. Sophie's
Guevara.
choice for Ross.
That's like choosing between my two kids. Sammy Guevara.
Ross has 2 kids, by the way.
They're just over there.
One of them's looking a bit sad now for some reason.
No, one of them just said, Maffew. Huh? Shocked
I'm
at that
picking
answer.
Sammy because look at him.
He is good though, and he's Sammy Guevara.
Oh, hi. Tamina or Naomi?
Naomi.
Tamina. She put the
Naomi.
bad in bad.
You said it.
Ah,
Sheamus or Del Rio?
Sheamus.
Oh, yeah, League of Nations. Go on.
Rusev.
Oh, is he a choice?
No.
Oh, right.
Sheamus. If I had to go for one, Sheamus.
Wade Barrett. That's how we're doing it. And we're going to pick Del Rio this week? No? All right. Moving on. Bret Hart or British Bulldog? Hart Foundation.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
It's got to be Bret. Savio Vega or Jose Estrada Jr.? That's Los Pericos.
I like Savio Vega. Savio Vega.
Savio Vega.
Savio Vega just because how Vince McMahon would always go, Savio Vega! Like, as if saying it like that is supposed to go, yes, Savio. Randy Orton or Batista?
Oh, no, I can't think of this one. Batista's got more banter. It's Dave.
Orton I'm going for.
Big Bad Dave. Al Snow or Too Cold Scorpio? Oh, now I'm going to Job Squad.
God, neither. It's Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah, too cold.
Yeah, Too Cold. Why not?
You answered that like Kevin Nash. Yeah, Too Cold.
So what do you think about wrestling Too Cold Scorpio? Please, I hope people have checked that
Was
video
that a
out just
selling
because we
again,
keep on
Matthew?
plugging it.
Was it the same thing you were munching on earlier?
Just Kevin Nash watching a Man City game. Shea Douglas or Chris Candido, the triple threat.
I've not watched enough of Chris Candido, so I'm going to go for Shane Douglas.
Yeah, the franchise. The franchise. Shane Douglas. He was there when... I've not seen enough of Candido either.
You sounded like such a big Shane Douglas fan, mate. Yeah,
I was gonna say-
the franchise.
He was one of the first wrestlers I was properly aware of from the WCW Worldwide days on Channel 5. He was always there.
Oh,
I remember him and Kidman having the feud at the time when I started fully watching.
Well, I don't know how you could possibly the Viagra and a pole match from memory. God.
Did they have
I'm
one
gonna
on a plinth sort of thing on the stage?
The scaffold match where
I remember watching that one.
Tori Wilson fell off and he's like, no, Tori! She bounced off.
I learned
It
really
looked like the thing
recently.
they land on in Gladiators.
I learned really recently. I think I learned it from OSW Review. The Triple Cage of Doom death match around that time, the David Arquette match, and I didn't realize Bischoff had warned them not to do any spots on the ramp earlier in the show because that's where Canyon was going to land. And then I forgot who it was. I think it was Mr. Perfect. Just pretended he was going to body slam his opponent right on the bit and then turned around and walked off. What a ribber. I like that story. Because apparently Bischoff was backstage. Apparently Bischoff was backstage losing his mind. Like, where's he going? And he went to do a body slam and then just turned around and put him down. It's so good.
This guy's get like one of those live watch-alongs with Bischoff going, no! Oh, you. Anyway, Chris Candido, because he's amazingly underrated. Dean Malenko or Perry Saturn from The Radicals?
There's something about Perry Saturn. I'm going to go for Perry. I'm going to go for him.
Yeah, I was going to go Perry as well.
Aye, like my favourite chicken recipe, Peri Peri. Rey Mysterio or Billy Kidman? Just the filthy animals, I guess. This guy's name every group and faction you could think of.
Rey Mysterio? Have we got a Misfits in Action one?
Hope so. Anyway. I'll do one afterwards just to...
I'm going Ray from that period of time. Had his little horns on. How cute.
Cute Ray. Billy Kidman. WCW Kidman was best Kidman. Rikishi or Scotty 2 Hottie? Oof.
That's really
Shade
hard.
here at Grandmaster Sexy.
I'll go for Scotty 2 Hottie.
I was going to go Scotty as well.
Rikishi. Big bumping Samoan blokey. Love him. Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan? Bloody hell.
Sarah Logan, I thought she was going to make it, you know. I thought she was going to break free of the group and make it. So I'll go for her.
Liv Morgan for me.
Yeah, what Jack said. Curtis Axel or David Otunga?
Otunga, I guess.
What? Curtis Axel?
Curtis Axel, because he beat Triple H that one time so bad, he broke down mentally.
Oh, he retired. Oh.
Yeah. He's like, they couldn't say he had a concussion. So it's like, my God, Triple H's brain just stopped working. It's really weird.
Triple H.exe has cried.
It's like, do-do-do-do. And he fell on his face. Rick Rude or Larry Zbyszko?
Rick Rude.
Rick Rude.
Oh, Dangerous Alliance. Right, I took a few seconds. Yeah, Rick Rude. Especially Rick Rude taking atomic drops, which is the new Twitter trend.
It's an account. Follow it. Go and follow it.
It's such a great... Oh yeah, there's a free plug. Scott Hall or Kevin Nash?
Oh, man. Scott Hall.
Big sexy all day long.
Scott Hall, just the insane crowd he'd getting the microphone, holding up, and the crowd like, oh, he's going to do it, and you just stay there for like 30 seconds until like, hey, yo. And everyone, yeah, he did it. Just me then, that's fine. Viscera or Midian?
It's a good thing. Viscera or Midian? You know what? You know how we all had wrestlers that we were really scared of as kids, and Ross's was Kane and stuff. Mine was Viscera. Found him genuinely quite terrifying, so I'll go for Viscera.
No, Ross's was Del Rio.
It has been for many years. I'll go Viscera as well. Viscera's got one of the most underrated themes from the Attitude Era. It's literally just the same beat all the way through with not much of a tune on top of it. But it's just so relaxing to listen to.
That's what you want.
Just sit back with a whiskey and listen to Viscera's Attitude Era theme.
An hour
Lovely times.
Did Viscera ever feud
I'm going to go with Big Vis. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I thought you'd already picked... did Viscera ever feud with Triple H?
No.
Because Cerebral and Visceral are opposites of each other. So I just thought that would make sense, but no.
Backstage going to, hey, I'm the Visceral Assassin.
I spray people with organs. Oh, for God's sake.
And it's not added, but I'm going to add it. General Rection or Lieutenant Loco?
Oh, can I choose Corporal Cajun, please?
Oh, good one. Ross, who you got?
I want huge erection.
Oh, I get it. I'm going to pick Van Hammer as Private Stash. Until he wasn't, because he went, hey, that's not fair. I don't want to be private. That's a really low down ranks. They turned him into General Stash, therefore completely killing the joke. You're an idiot, Van Hammer. I love you.
I feel like the Misfits in Action come up relatively quite a lot on this podcast.
What was Chavo's name again?
Lieutenant Loco.
Lieutenant Loco.
Yeah. Major Guns, because she had a lovely pair of personalities.
Oh.
She does the porn there, apparently, doesn't she?
The porn.
The porn.
Hey.
Yeah.
My favourite thing about the Misfits in Action is their theme tune and how angry the vocals are. Misfits in Action.
How weird is that, though? Major Guns does porn, but General Rection doesn't.
How do we know?
Well, yeah.
Where has he been for the past few years? What could he be doing?
Oh, God, where has he been for the past few years?
Working out his excuse. Thank you for all you do on the podcast. Brings us all a lot of joy, especially in these trying times. Until next time, fellas, Reese, not that one, from Sussex. Thank you very much, Reese. If you have any Reese's Pieces, we do get a lot of them, so if you don't mind waiting a few months before getting them used, then please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. And if you do one involving stables, make sure you name every single stable you can possibly think of. This man only had 30, so there's Kai and Tai, there's what's his
Misfits in Action,
the Revolution,
Team Canada.
Team Canada. He was slacking this week, Reese.
It's Cultaholics.
Big question.
Wow. What a beautiful HD podcast this has been. And this week's big question to round things off is, how should Otis cash in the WWE Money in the Bank briefcase? Ooh, that is a good question. There's many things you can do with it. You can cash in against Bray Wyatt. No, because he's not the champion. Braun Strowman is. Jack, what should he do with it? Well, I try and think of anything.
I think he needs to have it for a little while because they're both the big. Assuming he goes for one of Raw or SmackDown's big champions, they're both big babyface lads, and you don't want to see Otis against a big babyface lad. So we need to wait for one of them to get toppled by an awful heel, and then Otis comes along and saves the day. So say like whenever Drew's reign eventually ends, it's ended by trying to think of a good example of who would be. Who's like the MJF of WWE right now?
King Corbin. No. Whatever the question is, the answer is always King Corbin.
And when it's not that, it's Jinder Mahal.
He's babyface. Is he babyface now, Jinder? Off topic just a second there. After his promo on Raw this week.
What was
he
that?
was speaking about having a path of redemption and learning from his past mistakes, and his resurrection to the top main event scene in WWE is going to be the story of a hero. I don't know if it was ironic, but it didn't really come across that way. But it's just worth mentioning.
Strange.
I don't know. It depends. Are you cheering him from home?
No. I always cheer Jinder Mahal.
There's your answer. He's living in babyface country, also known as Wyoming.
So I think we need to wait until someone beats Drew or Braun. Some horrible heel who doesn't deserve it. Maybe King Corbin, I don't know. And then on the very same night, in Wyoming, that's when Otis comes down with the briefcase. And it's like Dolph Ziggler the night after WrestleMania. Everyone can't believe it. Straightforward cash in. Maybe a tease of the champion retaining, but Otis kicks out and then worms his way to victory. Caterpillars his way to victory.
That was good, Jack. That was good.
Cheers. So mine's not very innovative, but it's what I think's right.
Well, there's only so much you can do with the Money in the Bank thing, so it's nice. You had a bit of a stretcher. Thank you. And I think this might be part of a storyline we don't want to think about. What if he gives it to Mandy?
I'm worried, Maffew.
Yeah.
I'm so worried. I'm worried that Mandy saw this coming.
Right.
And she's using Otis. I hope not.
She just bet on the right horse.
I didn't even...
He is a stallion.
Use a right as well. Use a right.
But also Tucker. Tucker could do the same thing as Mandy's. What we're saying Mandy might do here. There was that interview we've just been speaking off air there, where it was a long time before Money in the Bank, I think, where he's saying if I did win, I would cash in with Tucker on the tag team champions. I don't think that would work personally. It's not 4 tag team titles, is it?
No.
It's a world title thing, isn't it? Surely.
Well, no, you can pick. Yeah. They say every year you can pick whichever title you want. And I think it would be nice if they moved on from just the title picture, because then it means that it does get more, what's the word for? More options. There we go. So having Otis win this. Yeah, so having a tag guy win it and cashing the tag title means like, it's not just going to be a Baron Corbin type or whatever winning it. That'd be nice.
It'd feel weird to me, just because how flat the tag team scene is in general. Just like, you've won the briefcase and like, the best thing you want to go for is the tag team titles. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a bit...
This isn't 2001 anymore.
would that make...
Reese's Pieces was.
Because would that make Otis look like a fool if he's got this amazing opportunity and he tries to beat the New Day with it? I don't know.
No, I think it would do the opposite. I thought it would give it that prestige. That's me missing out. And goes, yeah, I could go for it, but the tag team title means more than me because I'm best friends with Tucker.
And then Otis
there's Tucker, yeah.
That's a fair point.
Then he can get booked for all the kickoff shows.
Huh.
Yeah. But
it has to be left for a long while though, Otis. It's taken a lot of people by surprise, Otis being Mr. Money in the Bank. So a long time of, because it did that little turn in his little character. That little turn in his character where he lost the plot against Dolph Ziggler and trashed the ringside area. More of that, and I think more people will get on board, and then wait for the right champion to cash in on, which of course is King Corbin.
Oh,
I don't know who it is. I would even take a Dolph Ziggler reign as champion, to be honest with you, if it ended with Otis getting the better of him once again. Would you not?
Wow. Is it come to this? Is it come to, you know what? Dolph Ziggler would be a good choice for.
Well, I just. What other options are there for champions at the minute in WWE?
There's not many, is there?
AEW. Oh, sorry, I mean what you mean.
Andrade at some point, but I wouldn't want to see him lose it.
Brendan Vink.
Yeah, Vink's a good show.
Ricochet, clean as a whistle on Raw. What the hell?
How have they got all of these options in the mid card who they've just not capitalised upon? Ricochet, Alistair Black. Well, Black might still be getting pushed. I don't know. Although he did get killed. Oh, I don't know. I think. Do we think that Otis is actually going to cash this in successfully?
I don't think he will.
No, Maffew?
I don't think Vince is getting past that belly. Even though it shouldn't be an issue, it is with Vince McMahon because he's weird.
Yeah, I like seeing a guy like Tubba Blubber with the title because then it changes things around for the company. But he is a very sympathetic guy, so if he cashes in the first time and loses, then he gets all this build up and hype for like having a rematch, and then he wins. That'd be nice.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Because you just look at him and he just goes, like, "Aw." He's like that big chunky seal you can get, like you can see on Facebook.
Everything he says is funny. He might be one of the funniest wrestlers ever. He's so good.
What did he say to Rey Mysterio on Sunday? He was like, "Hey Ray, I love that colour scheme on his tights or something." He was a kid. I can't remember. It was funny anyway.
He said, "Don't die tonight," and Ray went, "I won't."
So to answer the question, we don't know.
Yeah,
but there's some options for you to think about. On that happy note, it has been another exciting adventure to Cultaholicville. I have been Maffew with my lovely camera. I will get the Daft post up next week. I just used all the blue tack elsewhere in the house and now it hardened, so I didn't have anything. And until then, that's the only thing I have to plug. Jack, what have you got for us?
Wrestlers of the weeks, up either now or earlier today. Trying to work out when this video goes out. So Wrestlers of the week, just all the usual things. Nothing in particular, but thanks for watching. Ross.
Yeah, I've got Bugger Roll this week. Maffew.
Me, Tom Campbell, and the American Justin Henry will be doing No Way Out 2000 watch along soon. So, Colin Scott's going to come out, but that's what I've got planned. And apart from that, playing Streets of Rage 4.
Nice.
That's not a plug, that's just a brag. It's a good game, and I've got it. Ha ha ha. You should get it too. And on that happy note, we'd like to learn the podcast by looking at our webcams. There's that one. Putting the hands or fists near the camera because it feels like you're almost with us, touching us, but not really touching us. Count of 3, very dramatically going 1, 2, 3. Join us.
Way.
Look how amazing it is. We never have anybody tweeting about this bit because no one watches this far. Goodbye. See you next week.